Hey everybody, how are you doing? And welcome to The
The
Truth
truth
Behind
and
the
the
Truth.
truth.
Yes, how's everybody? Sorry, my co-host Jay is a little late, but he's gonna get here and stuck in a little bit of traffic. But hey, we're here. So let's get into it. How is everybody doing? Parnell, how are you doing?
We're doing great. I know, like JB's on his way. Don't rush yourself through traffic. We got it.
We
Because you
got
know,
it.
Right, right. It's gonna be all
it's
right.
like they used to say on In Living Color, him got tree job and I love him.
We got to have a new segment. Where the hell is JB?
Red Hell J.
Yes. Come
Got a
on now.
red job. But I'm doing good. I'm excited. I got my body shirt on today, just I can see how
I
my
see you all perked up. Y'all look all perky.
Yeah.
Summer bod is
Getting
is
summer body
coming. I
ready.
see.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly. How
yes.
you
How
doing,
you
Tyler?
doing? How you doing, Harold?
I'm good. I'm good. I got a little 10. I was in Miami for a few days.
Okay.
This ain't
Oh,
no
yeah.
10. This is my regular. This is not a 10.
You're so silly because you know I'm gonna get all in your business. Did you go to Oliver Beach?
Whoop.
I did not, but you know what? I just learned about it. I just learned about it. I didn't even know, but I will be. I'm going back next month, so I will be taking.
Oh, wait a minute. We gonna get some teasers. Y'all better follow Harold. Make a beeline to his Instagram because we're gonna get some teasers soon.
You know, I really like Miami. Yeah, I like Miami.
Well, you gotta learn a little bit of Spanish now in order to live there.
Everybody speaks Spanish. Like
Yes.
everybody. It's like even my dentist. She didn't speak very good English. I was like, what is going on here? Yeah. But yeah, I like Miami a lot.
Yeah, it's a fun town.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
definitely
I have
pleasant.
never been there though. I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't been there yet.
Oh, yeah. You got to visit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But how about
Okay.
you, D? How you doing? How was your week?
Oh, it's going. It's
Yeah.
going. But you know, it was my birthday this past Tuesday, so I'm turning 35. I feel like, let's just say I'm feeling a little bit of growth. I feel a little bit of change. I feel a little bit of, that's just it's just feels so different. 34 to 35. At the age of 18, you just never think in your wildest dreams what would your 30s look like.
Right.
So it's like I'm taking it all in 34, 35. Then you be thinking, God, 40 is just around the corner. Woo! That's
Right when you're
It starts to
18,
speed up after 35.
absolutely.
Every other day,
my
it's like you have
goodness.
a birthday. After 35, the birthdays start speeding up.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
I
Yes,
remember when I turned 30, I was like, oh wow, I'm really grown up now. I'm 30.
Right.
And then wait, where did 40 come from? 50. Where?
Wait a minute. Hold up.
Well, listen, you know what? I tell people all the time, you know what? You got to live your life. Live it like it's your last because we only have one life to live. And you know what? For our brother Tyrese Gibson, with this child support situation, I don't know what life he's gonna live because I think it was cheaper to keep her. 650K, y'all. Come on now.
Well, he has it, doesn't he? He got it.
Yeah,
he got it.
But goodness gracious.
His case really shines a spotlight on how child services, not or family court or whatever, how they decide what monetary compensation goes to the ex-wives of rich and powerful men.
Mhm.
You know, it's sometimes it's like, wait, you giving how much?
Right.
Now that's
Is that in back support or is that like that's not annually? Is
I
it?
heard something that was some back support that he didn't pay, or and I don't know a whole lot about it because he says no, I take care of mine, you know. So I don't know if that was some additional stuff that was going on there, and it is kind of like how sometimes it can be a little unfair.
It seems like there's no rhyme or reason how they come up with these numbers. It's like, what is the formula that you guys use to calculate these child support cases?
Right.
But you would think, though, honestly, you know, with this situation, he's been in some prior situations. This would be his second go round, you know, and you know, I don't follow Tyrese, but what I have seen from him on social media is not the most positive when it comes down to relationships.
Right.
He has some. We all have issues. Don't get me wrong, but his issues are out on the floor. It's out there,
Yeah.
and I think with him is something with him in relationships. I don't think he's one of those people that can just stay married, and I think he has something within himself that he's got to fix. He's got to.
It ain't for everybody, you know. That's why
No.
when I see people who get married so quickly, sometimes it works, most times it doesn't. And like you really need to take time to really get to know your prospective partner, you
True.
know. Because I think it was back support.
It was back support.
Because I think people get caught up in the romance and that rush of feeling and the initial infatuation.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I remember somebody was talking about, it's like, okay, now imagine if these flaws or faults or things that drive you crazy, imagine if that never changes. Can you really go the rest of your life living with a person who does blah, 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 or doesn't do blah, blah, blah? And if the answer is no, then maybe you should rethink getting married to this person.
Yeah.
You know, because if it's really going to drive you crazy when the shit hits the fan, those things that are minor annoyances all of a sudden get blown out of proportion because you didn't admit that you don't like it.
Right.
You know, Oprah used to say, you know, those arguments about which way the toilet paper roll goes. It's really never about that, but it's about this other stuff that's behind it that you don't talk about as a couple.
Because in the beginning, when the sex is good and you're just looking to do it, then when you kind of get used to it, then you kind of have to deal with the person, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. Do I even like you? I like what he's doing, but do I?
And that's the good that you made a good point. Do I like you? Because I love a lot of people. I love you, but I don't particularly like you.
Right.
Yeah.
But there has to be some glue there. You know what I'm trying to get at? There's got to be a glue within any relationship that keeps you there. I don't believe in keeping oneself in a toxic relationship. That's not what I'm promoting. But if you are in love and you want it to work, what was the glue that got you there in the first place? What is that?
The sex. It was the sex that got us. Yes.
And I think that's what it was. But I want to give Tyrese
good. We staying around. The sex is good. We staying around. But then, like anything, you know that it dies down, and you done done every kind of position with that person. There's no more excitement and thrill, and so it's like, okay.
It's the other stuff. Yeah.
Well, Tyrese, put it in your music, put it in your acting, because we need you back in the studio. I mean, you are one of those talented singers that we need to get back on the radio. So, brother, put it back into your talent. That's all I'm saying.
I wish him well, and that
I do wish him
in
well.
all those situations, it's about the kids.
Yes,
whatever's going on between mom and dad, y'all can handle that, but make sure that those kids feel loved and supported by both parents.
Well, I'll tell you this. Let's support Mr. Don Lemon. Because I think he's
talking about coming to an end.
I'm just saying that was a shocker. Now, Tucker Carlson wasn't for me because I could care less about Tucker Carlson on Fox News. But Don, oh my goodness. Yeah, that's Mr. Evil. But Don Lemon, I tell you, that threw a lot of us. But, hey, 17 years, it's not bad.
Well, Don Lemon is his net worth is $37 million. I think he'll be okay.
He'll be all right.
He'll be all right. Hey, Mary. Yeah, he'll be all right.
Yeah.
Flame Monroe said this, and I thought this was the craziest thing. She said, why don't they put TJ Holmes, Amy Roebuck, Tucker Carlson, and Don Lemon on the same show called Let's See Who Touch Who's First. I said, now you know what, that is absolutely crazy. But guess who now showed up? And it's not Don Lemon, y'all.
Hey, JB.
The younger brother.
Oh, the younger brother.
Hello, everybody. Hello, audience. We apologize for the slight tardiness here this evening, but as you know, here in LA, we
we got to do what we got to do to keep the bills going. I mean, not the bills, but the lights on.
The lights on.
Yeah.
But how do you feel
And
about
this-
this
and this
situation,
show
though?
going.
But how do you feel about this situation, though?
Which one? Don Lemon?
Yeah.
Well, I heard both of it. Both guests I was tuned in on the way. So let me get my point on Tyrese real quick.
Okay,
I did hear you guys, kind of discuss it. Well, see, Tyrese has been in this situation for such a long time. I mean, and he's been back and forth. The last time he went through this is that when he came to Will Smith and asked him for money. And Will Smith told him no, and he got on social media with these big tears, saying, "Oh my God,
I remember that.
Yeah.
So, I after having, I think any man that has experienced child support issues, okay, first of all, I'm saying to the single and non-single, but stop creating kids. Number one, okay, put your DICK away, okay.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
Well, y'all know they're not. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? So the question is, if you're late, guess what? You got to pay. Okay.
Yes.
Cover it up.
So cover it up, and then you won't have that issue. Or you can find somebody saying anyway.
A mess.
Shade.
A mess.
You can find somebody.
JB, you want people to be celibate and monk-like. We ain't celibate and monk-like. We like to have sex.
You can find somebody in the same sector. You don't have to worry about paying kids. But anyway. I'm just saying,
Now you trying to make everybody gay.
Listen.
Well, the statistics say the 70% people that are 70% of people. Wait a minute, 30. What? How does it?
Get it right.
No, I'm trying to get. How did they put it? They say, 70. Oh, the 70% of people are the other 30% just don't know it yet.
See, here JB go with his gay agenda.
There you go.
I know, right?
But as we talk on that, we can talk about this whole thing with Ron DeSantis and Disney.
Right.
He's been going hard after Disney, and Disney is fighting back like, we're gonna sue your ass.
Okay. I mean, for real. Now that's for real. That's just a mess down there, with Ron DeSantis. But I go back. I don't mean to interrupt your flow, but go back and where you're talking about. Who were you just talking about?
We're talking about Don Lemon.
Don Lemon, yes. So but Don, I'm disappointed. Not disappointed in him, but disappointed in CNN. I think Don brought a lot of flavor to CNN, for the time period. You may not agree with everything that he said every time. You're not supposed to, but I think that he was a type of, he is, I don't say was in the past tense, but past tense on CNN side. But to me, he's a great journalist, and he's not afraid to ask a specific question, and go in. And then the things that we talk about where most journalists don't do is that they don't ask the questions that he asked. So it probably is one of the reasons. The factor is that he did ask the straight up questions where a lot of them don't. They get to a point they cut out because they don't want to offend somebody or whatever. But Don would just say, "Now, didn't you just do such and such and so and so?"
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, "Oh, he asked the question." So to him, my opinion, I think that it's disappointing for CNN to let him go. However, this may be a catalyst for something tremendous for him. And I think whoever picks him up, they got in my opinion, they have a great journalist coming on board with them.
I hope so.
I know we got to go break. I'm sorry, I got to ram my mouth. So we'll pick your points up when we come back from break. All right, we guys, thank you for tuning in tonight. We'll see you right back on this break.
Call 844-55-STARZ. What's that after done? It's Junk Stars, baby. Hey, my name is Thurston, and here I have my CEO, son Langston. We specialize in junk removal, dumpster rental, and demolition. So if you need junk removed, call Junk Stars. You need dumpster rentals? Call Junk Stars.
Hey. All right, and we are back, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truths. Tonight is exciting. It's a great night. I mean, we're going to be talking all things fashion. Wow. Yes. I am excited about that tonight because we've been doing that all month long, about giving you the fellas an opportunity to look at some different ideas from underwear, from different levels of fashions, past, present, and future. So tonight we're going to have a special guest, and Parnell's going to introduce him to you guys real shortly here. Oh my gosh, it's going to be exciting because he's just like this fashion icon out there, making waves for everybody. So I'm excited to have him on the show tonight. One thing I want to remind you guys real fast. Okay, now we've been putting out there for you guys to get in touch with us and support us. You have now the venue to be able to support The Truth Behind the Truth show. Right. You can go to Cash App, do your Cash App or Venmo. If you have a chance to grab the QR code right now with your phone or however you're watching the show, scan the QR code. It'll take you right there, and you can. Hey, all coins accepted. Okay. Oh no, we want bills. Okay. So you can be in touch with us that way or by Cash App. Just type in if you're on Cash App, just type in The Truth Behind the Truth, and it'll pull you right there. All right. So we look for your contributions to keep this show going so we can get to the network. Okay. All right. Parnell, you can take it from here, sir.
Well, all right. Well, I am happy to have my brother friend joining us on the show, Mr. Norris McCrutcheon III, hailing from Monroe, Louisiana. He has a master's in marketing specialization, and he is currently the education manager at Sephora Collection, also the CEO founder of In Phoenix Beauty, and Bat and Balls Underwear. We're going to talk about that because that name wears me.
I know, right?
And I have admired his fashion taste since we met a few years ago. Like every time I see his post on Instagram and stuff, I'm like, oh, damn, that's a bad suit. Oh, yeah. So when we started talking about pitching a fashion person to come in, I'm like, oh, I know who I'm going to call in. So without further ado, because I want to give him time, please welcome to the show, Norris McCrutcheon III.
Yes, hey, welcome. Yes, welcome. Thank you. What I got to say? Love the hat. All right, but go ahead.
Come on, hat.
See, I told you right off. Like I said, if I didn't know that's how he dressed all the time, I would think he got dressed up for us.
Right. Definitely. Well, welcome to the show. We're glad you took the time out to be a part of us tonight. So we want to hear all about the good stuff that's going on so we can get these men on point. Okay.
Well, look, Norris, have you always been so fashionable, like even as a kid, or is this something you grew into?
No, that's a great question. No, I have not been. Actually, I was a skinny, unfashionable kid growing up in Monroe. I was bullied all the time. Like most people, I came from a humble beginning. So I was basically wearing hand-me-downs from a thrift store, holes in my clothes before they were fashionable. And so I remember telling my mom when I became an adult and I made my own money, I was going to make sure that I provided for myself. I was going to dress how I wanted to dress. I was going to act like I wanted to act. And I was going to be 40 years old, still wearing tight jeans and roller skating. So no, I came into this once I discovered how to love myself authentically. And then
beautiful
about, so yes.
That is good.
I know, but I wanted to say that's what our format is about,
right.
living authentically,
right.
and you saying that is really what this platform, I want to say again,
Absolutely.
it's all about.
Absolutely.
You know what? Who was the stylist that you looked up to? What stylist that gave you that, oh, I want to try this, I want to do this? Was there any mentors, anybody that you looked up to in that?
It was never one person or a set of people. Me being a creative, I've always got my inspiration from art, architecture, plants, nature, just different colors. I'm a professional makeup artist as well. So anything that kind of shifts the balance between what we deem as normal or usual, I tend to go the opposite. So I find inspiration in the smallest of things. So, and I kind of morph that into what I feel clothing that makes me feel good, because I do it for myself. So if it makes me feel good, powerful, strong, and beautiful, then I'm all for it. So
I told you I used to work for a fashion store back in Atlanta, and I can't mention the name because they don't give us any money to talk about.
JB, you done had every kind of job, I think.
Oh, I know, right? Hey, but that's what makes
you had everything.
I know, right? See, that's what makes you a great talk show. So I can speak on every platform. But yeah, I used to work for one, and one of the things that I found in dressing men, specifically, typically in that category, you had a little bit more Caucasian gentlemen, that were patronizing the store. Why do you feel? Okay, this is for the general audience. It's a good question. That men have a problem with color. You know what I mean? I mean, I love the hat. I love the idea, the floral, the opportunity that you're wearing. But why is it? I think now that we've moved beyond that, but just kind of for those that are stuck, and wearing color. Speak to that for us real quick, and let us know, what's your opinion about men?
My first thought about that, it really comes from your environment, how you were raised, and what you were taught. As men, I would say Black men, we are taught us to behave a certain manner, that men don't do this, men shouldn't wear pink, men shouldn't wear this, X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And so I think because people are so stuck into trying to please other people, they forget that they're the most important person. Absolutely. And so they will do what's safe, where they're not going to get those stares. Oh, look what he got on. Why is he wearing that? Oh, he thinks he's doing it, but he looks a fool. People who are not afraid to test those boundaries are the ones who become, I like to call, their own self-fashion icons. But basically, men are just afraid to be criticized. Our ego is everything. Men, we get bruised, but they ain't gonna never show that. Those saying, never let them see you sweat. People take that to heart. It's okay to let people see you sweat or be vulnerable. Be yourself. Because if they're not paying your bills, who cares what they say about you?
Absolutely.
That's my philosophy.
No, that's great. I have more, but go ahead, partner. I'm gonna stop running my mouth.
It's very interesting because when we talk about fashion and men or whatever, it's like usually the men of the species are always the most extravagant. The male peacocks, the ones with all the long pluming tails. The lions got the mane. It's very interesting, and it used to be a time where human males were also very decorative in their clothes, and somewhere along the way we got see, there he goes with these outfits. Come on, Norris.
I love that. Like that.
Now, what is that? What outfit are you wearing right there?
That's actually African inspired. It's actually from a retailer here in LA. I actually found them on Instagram.
Wow. Okay.
You can find some good stuff on Instagram. Some of it is trash, but there also are some stuff that you find out that you're like, oh, so where'd you get this? I saw it online and I ordered it, and it comes out really nice. But I think what's one of the things about what I love about you is because you have such this wonderful eye for color and patterns.
Yes.
That mixes up stuff. Because I'm always like, if I have a shirt that's giving me a lot of patterns, I wear simple pants. If I got pants that give me a little pattern, then I wear a simpler shirt. Okay, how many hats do you have?
Right. You got a hat room?
I really do. I probably have about 50 fedoras, probably about 50 to 60 baseball caps. I have a plethora of everything. I have way too much everything. I need to purge. I'm a hoarder. I get it honestly. I'm from Louisiana, the South. We believe in holding on for dear life because never know when you're gonna need it.
Yes.
Come on now.
Yes.
Come on now. You better take us back to the Renaissance.
Right. Is that a turtleneck? Is that a turtleneck? I mean,
it is. It's custom made. This designer out of the DMV area actually made that shirt for me. He made the whole outfit. Not this outfit, but he made a complete outfit. There's actually a velvet pant and a long train that goes along with that top. But I haven't busted that out on the kids in LA yet.
Okay. so that brings up a good point. So fashion exploration, which we have really, really found these days, typically for men, especially on the red carpet, and what have you. We see a lot of different ideas. Being that you are fashion forward, how do you feel about that as a rule? Do you think it may be a little bit too much, or should we something? You probably guess that some was a little bit too much, but do you think that we should more or less gradually kind of introduce these ideas?
Good question. There are a lot of things on the red carpet that I find groundbreaking, and there are some things I find overbearing and kind of in your face because there's a fine line. But and this is just me speaking because I can't speak for everybody, the designers and all that stuff. I think there's a fine line between costume and fashion.
Gotcha.
So just depending on the event that you're going to, you really should know the event, the audience, and what you're trying to portray and tailor the outfit to kind of fit that. But nowadays, when this world of inclusivity, everybody wants to make a statement. So the bigger, the bolder I can go, they feel like that is going to boost my network, my influence to become more relevant. So everybody just wants to be more relevant in this day and age.
Oh, wow. And as an entrepreneur, what you have your hands in the business as well, because you do run two businesses and plus you're creating the product. So which one is easier to you? Is it doing the business portion or creating the art?
For me, I like both. I grew up a nerd, so everybody wanted me to do a little homework and everything. And that's probably why I had friends, because I was doing people homework to keep them getting beat up. But then growing into myself, and when I became, fashion and finding my creativity, because like I say, I'm a professional makeup artist. So exploring that passion and making women beautiful gave me the power to create and try different things. So when it came to my businesses, in Phoenix Beauty actually is a beauty consultant business where I do makeup, for weddings, movies, TV, you name it. Have money, I will travel. And now I'm dabbling into the underwear, sexy men's underwear, because I'm a lover of sexy underwear. And so you actually have to have both skill sets in order to have a successful business. I'm going to put that out there because the second business, the underwear, hasn't started, but I'm saying it's going to be successful because I like to think I have a great business mindset. I have made a lot of money for a lot of Fortune 500 companies. And now I'm going to see if I can take that same knowledge that I get, put it into myself to be as successful as they are. So I tell you, I enjoy the creative side more than crunching numbers. I will say that, although I can do both.
I love that, and it's good to have more designers, especially as you're coming in with the underwear. And we're going to talk about that probably the next segment because we want to get into that a little bit. Parnell wants to talk about what is the bat the balls or whatever you call it.
Balls,
yeah.
Balls.
Okay. So we'll hold that next. But here, I know you had a question you were going to ask.
So Norris, now I see you in all these fine clothes, Versace and all the Givenchy or something, all those names I can't pronounce. What if we on a budget? How can we ball on a budget? How can we look fashionable if we, we don't
now, have here's the secret to fashion.
Okay, let's tell us the secret.
It's never, and I want you to hear me and all your audience, it's never about fashion. It's always about style. Although I have the name brands, some of them, I don't have a lot. I am a boutique, Goodwill, secondhand, thrift store shopping person because if you have style, you can make anything, a burlap bag, look good. Accessories is another key factor. Nice shoe, a nice handbag, nice jewelry can make any piece of clothing stand out. The next piece of that is your attitude. If you're putting it on and second guessing whether or not you look good in it, then you're not going to look good in it.
That's true.
You have to put it on, own it, and then you make other people notice. Like I have this thing, like I like to go to a lot of, since I've been in LA, award shows, pre-party, Grammy, Oscars, you name it. Because I know with my attitude and my fashion sense, when I get in the building, they will come to me like a moth to a flame. So you just have to be present, know who you are on the room, and your fashion and everything else will speak for itself. So
that's good.
I know some very good thrift stores here that I've stumbled upon. So trust me, I got plenty of Goodwill stuff in here. So shout out.
I'm gonna just say this, Norris. You know, I will sign an NDA if you take me to some of those thrift stores, so I can look. You know, I don't tell nobody where I got it from.
Right. And that's the other piece I was gonna say. Nobody knows where you shop. Nobody knows.
That's true. But you don't have to tell them.
Yes, you tell them.
That's true. You don't have to tell them.
That's part of our problem. We talk too much.
Right.
We don't share everything. My mom always told me, answer the question that you was asked and don't give nothing else.
Nothing more.
I learned that a long time ago. Okay, because I mean, there was a time that I was in Neiman Marcus and everybody else buying items, and I was like, okay, wait a minute, you know, I could go and get like 2-3 more for the price I paid in Neiman Marcus for this opportunity. But you never knew that I stopped shopping at Neiman Marcus. Okay, you know, at the end of the day. So and I've had I actually didn't bring them to LA, but I had items that I had bought then that were that fashion forward, you know, and I had the shirts that were like almost 20 years old, and I would wear it and say, where did you get that shirt from? Since you know, and hey, I was like, well, this is almost what I picked up. You know,
this whole thing,
right? This whole thing, exactly. This whole thing, you know what I'm saying?
Because if you buy quality, it will
Exactly.
It will last. And then I travel a lot internationally, so I'm always looking for indie brands pieces. Not so much about the name for me, it's about the craftsmanship, how it looks, and more importantly, how it's going to make me feel. Because I don't like to show up. That's why I don't shop at some of the I can't name names. Some of the more popular, you know, the
right
in the mall, because I don't want somebody to show up at a party with the same shirt I got on. I'm gonna be upset. So you know.
You remind me of. I remember there was an interview with Barbara Walters, and there was this suit that she had had for decades, and she just like every now and then I change the buttons.
Right. Okay.
The same suit that I've had for 30 years, but I changed the button. It's like, oh, that's a new little pink suit you got.
Yeah. Well, we got to go for a quick break. But I love how the segment of this that you kind of inclusively mentioned everything about the Devil Wears Prada. Okay. Well, it has to be in your style. Okay. All right. We'll be right back after this quick break. All right. Well, welcome back, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. What a great way to mention style and icon, and Harry Belafonte. I mean, never missed a beat. I mean, at the end of the day,
singer too, an actor as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we do pay homage to him, as well in his transitioning, and he leaves a great legacy behind. I mean, he really does. Really does. And then also we're going to take a moment to wish, we didn't do it earlier in the show, wish you happy birthday. Okay? Yeah. So he mentioned we did not officially wish you happy birthday. Normally we do like these big presentations, but I had time to put all that stuff together this year. I don't do one for Parnell, do one for Aaron, but I didn't have the time to do the big stuff that we do, but we'll make it up. So next month when y'all see birthday celebrations come back up, audience, that's why. Okay. Because I had to put it together. But anyway, back into that.
Well, Parnell got inspired. Did Parnell go do a little? He didn't got inspired over there.
Fodora.
One more thing, y'all, and I'm so sorry, Parnell. One more thing. Y'all know Barry Humphries, Dame Etna.
Yes.
He passed as well. So give us that. Type of tribute.
Definitely true. And some of these things we were meant to talk at the top of the show, but we do need to mention them.
Mention them real fast. Go ahead, Parnell. I'm so sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's all good. All right. So no, I said at the beginning of the show that I wanted to know more about this Bat and Balls underwear line that you're promoting. First of all, the motivation for the name, because I have an idea, but I just want to
Well, you're spot on. Definitely. I remember a movie where they used to refer to a certain male anatomy as the Johnsons.
Right.
And, bat and balls is actually a sport. You have a bat and balls. And if you use your imagination, it also could represent another piece of equipment that all men have. I was going to say most men have. So that's where it came from. I wanted to play on it without being so overt that this is what I'm talking about. So if you think about it, you'll have that aha moment. Bat and balls, underwear, clothes and underwear, men's underwear, your bat and your balls.
Right. Well, I love that, that whole tongue in cheek approach, which is kind of like, I think a lot of marketers are started like, okay, we're just going to toe that line where it's kind of like, that little nod where you kind of snicker at it. But what it is like when the quality and that branding is what makes people buy your product. I mean, we were talking earlier about, a lot of the underwear that comes out is sourced from the same vendors or whatever. And it's just kind of the brand name and how you're marketing makes the difference in it, because you get a reputation for like, oh, I like their stuff, the pricing, and it is that whole thing, because we see so many things like, okay, it's the same thing, but somehow the way they market it just makes me want to buy this stuff. When people find out that it's a Black-owned business, that's my thing. A lot of times when I find out it's a Black-owned business, I really want to support. And I'm like, you know what? This is great that we have all these designers who are well known for many, many years, but there are Black artists that are coming out that are creating some wonderful fashion lines that deserve to have their names being as popular and well known, especially among Black folks. And that's just like nothing against anybody else, but we have to support our own still. A lot of the older folks were saying, in some ways, integration was the worst thing to happen to Black people because we stopped supporting each other just to be able to go out and buy stuff from the white stores, whatever. And I think a lot of us are finding that now, like, hey, just because I want to support this Black-owned business doesn't mean that I'm hating on anything anybody else is doing. So because other communities, they support themselves first before they go out. But we kind of lost that. And I think a lot of us are coming back to that. So I'll be putting my bat and balls in your drawers. Wait.
Your bat and balls.
Crazy.
I like that. I like that. I'm going to put that in the commercial.
Dogs in your drawers. That's a good. That's a good.
Oh, that's good. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Promotional catch. That's good. Yeah. You heard it here on the Truth County Truth. Okay.
Yeah.
That is for sure. I mean, and so eloquent to your point, Parnell, about that. The one thing that's just me, y'all know I'm the catalyst that brings stuff here, and the one thing I would love to see is that all communities start buying what is represented in what is considered the Black community. You know what I mean? Start buying the balls and the draws. Okay. But at the end of the day, when he go to the thing, he don't care whose balls are in the draws as long as the money goes.
All shades of them.
Shades, draws. Okay.
Oh, the back could be wood, titanium, steel. The balls could be canvas. I don't care.
You can definitely count on it. So the money is the money, okay, at the end of the day. So let's do that. Let's invite all people to be a part of our product, because we got some great things out here. I mean, there's tons of stuff that's going on. One thing I do want to speak to, I know Harold's got a question. So with the fashion line, we addressed this, I think, last week on the show. Okay, now typically going into an underwear line, what is your encouragement? I'm being light when I'm saying this, but what is your encouragement for men to need to address the manscaping area a part of their body? Because most fashion in terms of underwear nowadays, as it's not fit that you can hide, and the unattractive thing is the stuff running out when you got on a bat and a ball. Okay,
Is it something that you can braid?
So, but anyway, so in encouraging, the other products that help promote all of these other things that we need to do. So how do you kind of encouragement to kind of consider their looking at different opportunities to keeping stuff better shape?
But what if that's their authenticity? What if that's what they like?
Okay, I get that authenticity, but then you don't need no business wearing no bat and ball draws. Okay.
Well, they just don't have no business coming to your house.
Well, okay. Well, they won't be coming to my house anyway, okay? But just in general, because whether it's male, female, whatever the case may be, women, and believe me, women are complaining big time, okay, about addressing the issues that male are not taking care of their lower extremities. That's what we talked about last week on the show.
Well, you know what? If women would stop making themselves available, that change would happen. So you said that women are complaining,
right?
They're complaining. If you're still giving them what they want, they're not going to change. But if you withhold it, they'll change.
Well,
you don't get none of this until you handle that situation.
Right. Okay. That's an easy fix.
Well, good point. All right, but to our guests, go ahead.
Ooh, that's a lot to unpack there.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Right.
And hopefully they'll say that as they peel off a pair of bat and ball underwear.
Right.
Manscaping, is a big thing now.
Right.
And, I'm of a certain age, so that wasn't always talked about, or I think we even did that. So, to Harold's point, some people just like to be authentic. Some women don't shave their legs or their armpits because they identify with that, which is okay. But now that you have more people who are nudists or naturalists, more skimpy type of clothing that, that looks what we would deem better if you don't have things spilling out as far as, your area, your pubic area and things of that nature. From a grooming standpoint, the way society has framed it, it looks better. But that's case by case. Because if you think about models, they have taught us for years that all models are skinny without any curvature and things of that nature. But now that's changed too. But I like a well-groomed area. I think grooming should be a topic that men should, Black men especially, from head to toe, start to address.
Right.
And I think you got to lead them to that water slowly.
Right.
Instead of just hit them like, oh, here's a razor. You need to trim all that up and do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Slow steps. But to your point, yes.
Gotcha.
But I think there's biting that because a lot of guys think that, oh, you're trying to emasculate. And it's like, no, I'm just trying to get you to clean that stuff up. Wash your hands, get them nails done. You know, you should take care of yourself. Right. Like you got somebody. It's not just from the neck up. Like you see these guys that the beard's together, the hair is tight and everything. And then they come out them clothes like, oh God, what happened?
Well, some people love the smell of a natural man. There's a thing called pheromones where some of these people are attracted to a certain smell, and with a lot of certain hair in certain places, it gives off that aroma. What's attract
not
people?
That. Okay.
Well, not that, but hey, it depends now because you have feet people too.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're not talking about fetishes here. Okay, that's a whole other story. Okay,
an aphrodisiac.
That'll be next month's topic.
Right.
But here's the thing. Pheromone and funk is two different things. Okay? Dirt and funk, that's two different things, altogether. Let me say that we're gonna move on. But just a representation of that. So, I mean, I was at my other place of employment, and this guy was, with one of our attractive, salespeople there. And so, and unfortunately, but he was a man of color, So he's, first of all, he's standing at the counter. I walk up and I'm like, "Who, Lord, what is that smell?"
Now that's just nasty. Now somebody can smell you. That's just nasty.
I mean, the sad part about it is that now the non-bathing, okay, which we're talking about here, okay, and then on top of it, when you get in the car, you smoking weed too, really? Oh my God! And then I looked down and said, "Please let the nails be clean."
It wasn't clean.
Child,
no. It wasn't clean.
No. Okay.
Clean.
I was like, okay, I can't. Okay. What is that?
That's that kind of time where we have to kind of like, brother, let me talk to you for a minute.
Right.
Come on over here. We're gonna do something like this. Because one, you're in a professional setting. It's one thing if you're just in the neighborhood hanging with your boys, but now you're in a professional setting where people like they're gonna smell the funk of either the body or the weed. Right. Look at them nails and say, like, oh. What are you doing? And it's like, we're not even talking about buffing and polishing, nothing like that, but just
just cleaning and cutting.
Yeah, and keeping them clean.
Norris, what are some staples that every man should have in their closet?
Oh, yes.
Good question.
Yes. You definitely need a dark colored suit, black, navy, or a brown. Those three colors of suits will get you through to probably any event. Definitely. Definitely a dress shirt, nice pair of jeans, some button downs, crisp. I think you should have at least one shirt with French cuffs and a nice pair of cufflinks for that formal event that you can pair that with that black suit, because although you don't have a tuck, you can get away at a a nice black suit and the right shirts and cufflinks and things of that nature. Those are probably my main thing that every man needs to have. Of course, they have all the other things like the leisure wear and the tennis shoes and all that, which is a given. But in a professional sense, you definitely need those items.
I think like a passport, every man should have a tux.
That's so true. That's so true. So let me ask you. So just into so that we're kind of moving to the point of helping men move a little bit more fashion forward. Just the simple things. I always tell people we should be like women have with handbags. Handbags and shoes need to go together. Belt and shoes need to go together. You don't need a pair of brown shoes with a black belt on.
Is that still the rule?
That's old school.
Well,
JB old school. He don't want to admit it. JB old school.
Well, okay, here's my thought. If it's a designer belt, yes, you can get away with it. Okay, but it looks kind of weird. Okay, now it depends what you're putting together. Because if you're doing jeans, if you're more of a eclectic dresser, then you can get away with it. You see what I'm saying?
Let's ask Norris. Norris, what do you think?
Okay.
Yes. Now I come from that era where your shoes and belt had to match. You just had to. But this day and age, not necessarily, because fashion is yours to define and own. Okay. Now, I think it should still be in the same color family, so to speak.
Right. Okay.
Because
Gotcha.
you can have a nice pair of leather brown Chelsea boots. That brown is probably going to be constructed of different speckles of black, different hues of brown, which will tie into a basic black belt or a chocolate brown belt. So as long as there's elements of colors that you can pull from that shoe, that bag, or that belt, it'll all work together. Or if you just want to push boundaries, hey, people are wearing 2 different types of shoes, 2 different color socks.
Right.
So the rules are kind of gone out of the the window. Even the designers are making the backs of tennis shoes multicolored.
Right.
Totally opposite. So, the rules are kind of out of the window. It's really what makes you feel good.
Awesome. And for your makeup, good. We gotta go into a break.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, y'all.
You can pick your question up when we come back from break. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a lively show. I mean, we are thoroughly enjoying it. We'll be right back after this quick break with more with Mr. Norris. Woo. All right. Thank you for tuning in to The Truth Behind the Truth with Nasty Nails. Okay.
He had to put that up there now. We didn't have to see it. They look like nice. They like painted nails.
They might have been
actually painted.
Yeah. No, them dirty.
That's dirty.
That's dirty. That's dirty.
But people
if
are.
I was a woman, I would beware of nails like that.
Oh my God!
But we're not going to even talk about that.
No.
But my
My
question is for you being a makeup artist. Who was one? Did you have a famous client, or did you have any famous clients that you worked on?
Not A-listers. I've done a few B-listers. As Marie, who was a special guest on Empire. I've done makeup, and I've assisted, when I was in a retailer environment, helping a lot of A-listers pick out makeup, like Regina King, the Housewives of Atlanta. The list goes on. Oh, Britney Spears when I was in Louisiana. Drawing a blank, but so now that I'm out here in LA, hopefully that gate will open that I will get to do some A-listers. Really, further my brand. So yes, but thank you for that.
Your recent transplant to LA, what, like the last couple years?
No, 1 year to be 2
1 year.
2 years, 2 years in July. Yeah, I'm still new.
Wow.
Welcome. How are you enjoying and adjusting to LA compared to Louisiana?
Every day is a different day.
Yeah, every day is an adventure.
Yes. Now, I will say it's cold here, and I was expecting to always be sunny and warm, but it's really cold, and I don't like the cold. And I don't. I find myself cursing in the morning at night, and I have to pull out I'm from the South, so I got my space heater, my blanket, going. I'll even turn the gas oven on and open that baby up. Hell, it's hot in here.
But it's so funny. I love, like I always tell you, I love old movies, and I used to wonder why back in the day, women would wear fur coats at night out here in LA. You would see all these premieres back in the day where they would wear their fox stoles and stuff like that. I'm like, why would they wear something so hot? I mean, so hot in a hot environment until we moved out here and realized that, because we're in the middle of the desert, it's going to be that type of cold because it's windy. So it made more sense because we've been out here since 3 years. 3 years.
Mhm.
And the weather, it's just getting cold now.
See?
It's getting rainy now, but during the pandemic, oh my gosh, you just live a little longer out here.
Right.
You'll get you, believe me.
This weather got Norris sitting in his apartment is going, Tony, lied to me.
Exactly. I've been cursing up a storm. Like I tell everybody in the South, it is cold as hell out here. It rains like cats and dogs. So don't believe the hype.
Not true.
It can do that too.
It gets very cold.
Let's kind of dig it right back in. So, in your opinion, so where do you see the line of fashion going for men? Do you feel it's that the exploration is going to keep getting explored, or are we going to move our way back into a little bit more conservative? Or conservative and the exploration together?
I'm glad you asked that, because I was doing some research for work actually. And one thing that holds true, fashion repeats itself.
Exactly.
So you're going to start to see a lot of things that are retro, vintage is definitely coming back. Athleisure is still going to be a big deal. Right. That ain't never going away. But things that are more form-fitting, like the skinny leg jeans, the really tailored blazers, they're kind of moving away to more of a bigger pant. The jackets are a little bit more loose, more comfortable. So it's almost this comfort but trendy era is coming up. So there'll still be elements of what's going on now, but we're starting to go back. And you'll see the big wide leg pants. I just bought 2 pair myself. The jeans, the patchwork, things of that nature. So if you got any clothes from 20 years ago in your closet, they'll be relevant again real soon. So just dust them babies off and pull them out.
Man, I tell you,
how tall are you, Norris? How tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
5'7". Okay, because I was about to say, with clothes, how do you kind of get them tailored to your body? Do you go to a tailor often and get them custom to your body?
I'm glad you mentioned it. Yes, everyone, please find you a seamstress, someone who can alter your clothing, because off the rack works for very few people. But if you want something to really complement your body type, take it to a seamstress. So it may be best to buy it a size too large so they can tailor it. You look so much better in well-tailored clothes.
Wait, Charles, put them suits up again. I'm one.
That was a good question.
I would rock that.
I would too.
I actually was looking at a jumpsuit very similar to that the other day with stripes. So yeah.
Well, the tied sash side on that, or either it's certainly back. Or the wraparound effect of the jacket, which I kind of like that. I kind of like that's back. More than than it has been in the past, and it just kind of and a couple of people I think on the red carpet at the Oscars wore that, which is nice. I do like that. I really do. Norris, can you give us I know we got to wrap up. To give us some kind of quick tips real fast as you want to say to some men, in terms of helping them, reframe their thinking about fashion.
Yes, definitely. When you're thinking about just fashion in general, take the word fashion out of it and just think of them as clothes and attire. Look at each piece as a separate entity and how it's going to first make you feel, how it's going to complement your body shape, because just because they make it, you've heard that you should put it on and wear it, but really putting the garment on, seeing how it makes you feel. Do you feel comfortable, or are you second guessing it? Or do you need to ask your friend, what does this look like? You will know off the bat whether or not this piece is for you. And if you decide that piece is for you, then own it. Because if you own it, then you will make heads turn, and then you also become a fashion icon in your own right. So,
absolutely. So how can people, are you speaking with clients or anything outside of that, or how can people reach you if they,
Well, I'm on all the social media platforms. I'm on IG. My IG handle is ANMC3.
Okay.
I'm also on Facebook. My entire government name, Albert Norris McCrutcheon III. So you just add Albert to that, what you see on the screen. You can find me on Facebook. And if you want to email me, this is a long one, mccruanii@gmail.com.
All right.
Okay.
And you can just slide in my DMs. I want to feel relevant. Slide in my platforms, make an old man feel good, and I will give you all the tips and tricks.
Gotcha. Well, we thank you so much for being a part of that. Taking time. We'd love to have you back again.
Absolutely.
You know, exploring some more opportunities in fashion, and especially when you get your line of your underwear out. We, you know, we can't have anybody modeling, but we could because we you know, we're the truth behind the truth. So we can have a model with that. But we do want to thank you so much for being a part of tonight and expounding on what we need to do as men to make ourselves look better. You know, and it's always about looking better, making a better quality of yourself, and that's what helps you find your authenticity. You know, and it does, like you said earlier, your authenticity shines through your fashion. All right. Have a great night. Thank you for tuning in to The Truth Behind the Truth. And we will see you back next week. Or we can get off liquor month next month.
Oh, wow.
We'll see you then. Bye-bye.